Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News. .3 Citi FM. This is the Citi Prime News. We're broadcasting live from our studio at Adabraka here in Accra. Coming up in the bulletin, NAM1 trial to continue as Supreme Court dismisses application to halt his prosecution at the High Court. Meanwhile, aggrieved members of customers of Men's Gold urge expedition of the trial.
We want to use these platforms to pray that the court will resume that daily trial so that we shall have some finality and conclusions to this matter, because people are really suffering.
Also in this bulletin, more drama expected in Parliament today as minority members threaten to continue protesting the Pandai seat vacancy declaration.
As far as the majority and minority we are concerned, there is no single business that has happened today.
Still on the Citi Prime News, former workers of Bogoso Prichta Mine petition lands and Natural Resources Ministry demanding reinstatement of laid-off staff and payment of outstanding entitlement.
We have waited in good faith for far too long. Our patience has been exhausted. Our families are suffering. Our dignity is fading. And our lawful entitlement remain unpaid.
And later on the Citi Prime News, healthcare at Akutreso Health Center in jeopardy as 6 communities in Adansi South District remain without power for 2 weeks.
The light off, it has affected our community members, especially those who sell fish, and then the storekeepers, appealing to the ECG and then the government to come to our need.
All that and more coming up here on the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Broadcasting from Adabraka here in Accra. The news is also live around the world on citinewsroom.com. Here in country, we are also live on our partner stations. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky Power 93.5, both in Takrade. In the Bono region, we're on J Live 95.5 FM in Sunya. In the Ashanti region, we're on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. And in the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
I am Charles Osukume, grateful to you for your time this afternoon. Here now are the details of the bulletin, and we begin from the court. The Supreme Court has dismissed an application by Men's Gold CEO Nanapia Mensah, popularly known as NAM1, seeking to overturn earlier rulings by the High Court and the Court of Appeal in his ongoing criminal trial. NAM1 had challenged the High Court order directing him to open his defense, but both lower courts rejected his bid to halt proceedings. He is facing 61 charges, including fraud and money laundering. Spokesperson for the aggrieved Men's Gold customers, Frederick Forsen, says the ruling brings them closer to justice.
We have gone through a lot, Hanson. It's almost 8 years now, 7 years. I have spent 7 productive years of my lifetime fighting this cause as the leader and the convener of this group. And we have buried more than 244 members. And on the issue of the situation, the condition of our customers, we are even tired of discussing them. Debt, harassment, adversity, poverty, broken homes, shattered dreams, destroyed businesses, and the rest of them. So it's not been easy. All that we are looking up to is that the trial should speed up. I remember when we started, before the prima facie case was determined, we were almost going on a daily basis. And so we pray the courts that now that the Supreme Court has given the go-ahead, we should resume that daily trial so that at least we can come to some finality. Because Even this, the case moved to the High Court in 2023. And here we are in 2025, the year is almost dying. So we would pray, we want to use these platforms to pray that the court will resume that daily trial so that we shall have some finality and conclusions to this matter, because people are really suffering.
That was the spokesperson for the aggrieved Men's Gold customers, Frederick Forson. Let's stay with this matter. Our court correspondent, Hansen Ajiman, covered today's proceedings at the Supreme Court for us, and he joins us live via telephone. Good afternoon to you, Hansen. This case has traveled since 2018. What were the reasons the court gave for this particular dismissal of Namuan's application?
Well, so the actual reasons we are told will be made available at a later date. But of course, while the incident itself began in 2018, it was not until 2022 that the matter went to court. And so since 2023, as when trial began, the case have been able to conclude its prosecution. The High Court delivered a ruling saying that the accused person should open his defense. And now one has since been on a tangent fighting that decision of the High Court. So he's been to the Court of Appeal, where the Court of Appeal ruled against him. He's followed up to the Supreme Court. And then at the Supreme Court, he applied to the Supreme Court to stay proceeding, while the appeal process continues. So it is that application that the Supreme Court today delivered its ruling on. The reason for this decision, we are told, will be made available at a later date.
Right, Hansen. Also today at the Supreme Court, we're told the state invoked the review jurisdiction of the Supreme Court in the Edubuahin case. What was this review application?
So Edubuahin had been to the Supreme Court asking for an order prohibiting the judge hearing the matter from continuing to hear this matter. The Supreme Court, in dismissing that application by Edubuahin, went further to give an order respect to disclosures in criminal trials, to say that portions of the practice direction that say that the prosecution or investigators should disclose facts or potential evidence that are in their possession and that are relevant should now be read to mean that prosecution should disclose documents or materials that are in their possession. And in another aspect of the ruling, the Supreme Court discussed that these matters to be disclosed should be matters that are in connection with the case or are material to the case in question. The Attorney General decided to come back to the Supreme Court to invoke its review jurisdiction to say that just leaving the practice direction to read that disclosure should only include matters that are in the possession of the prosecution, which in their understanding or in the understanding of the Attorney General was the ruling of the ordinary bench of the Supreme Court, will affect the criminal jurisprudence of the country. And the Deputy Attorney General, who represented the AG's office, noted that this position came about after reviewing the decision of the Supreme Court and also engaging key stakeholders within the investigative space. The lawyer for Edubuahin, the person of Samuel Atachina, disagreed with the position of the Deputy Attorney General and went further to say that the threshold for which one can invoke the review jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has not been met, and as a result of that, the Supreme Court should dismiss the review application. The the bench then scheduled the matter for January 14, 2026 to deliver its ruling.
Right, Hansen, from now until January 14, when the Supreme Court is expected to deliver a ruling on this matter, what happens to the substantive case at the High Court?
So this is not expected to affect the substantive case because already the Attorney General's Department won the case at the Supreme Court. But the Deputy Attorney General is arguing that it is not a matter of who won or who lost. To them, it is more of a matter of what it means for our criminal justice system. Because they believe that this current law, as espoused by the Supreme Court, will not be the benefit of our criminal justice system. Then there's a need for them to come for a review. And it's not because the Supreme Court is in a way.
Right. Thank you very much, Hansen Ajiman. Seems we're having some difficulty with the line there. Hansen Ajiman is our court correspondent and reporting from the Supreme Court. Away from the courts, former workers of the Bogoso Prestia mine have petitioned the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, demanding the reinstatement of laid-off staff and the payment of outstanding entitlements owed them after the 2024 takeover by Heath Goldfields. The group picketed at the ministry's forecourts before submitting the petition. Convener of the group, Gabriel Madobi, says more than 400 affected workers continue to face severe economic hardship as their benefits and arrears remain unpaid.
About half of the workers, their PFs, and accede not pay to remaining workforce entitlement in December. Ensure efficient and proper restoration of Bogosu Prestia mine by compelling investors. Enforce full payment of the outstanding statutory and contractual entitlement, including end of service benefit, severance compensation, accrued leave balance, and bonuses. Ensure that rights of separated workers who have been re-employed by he go face fully. And I repeat, Minister, ensure that all separated workers or former workers have been re-employed fully. Protect without deferral of previous earned benefit. Impose strict compliance timelines with sanctions of continuing non-compliances. Given that previous deadline and promised by Heath Goldfields has been ignored. Conclusion, Mr. Minister, Honorable Minister, we have waited in good faith for far too long. Our patience has been exhausted. Our families are suffering. Our dignity is fading. And our lawful entitlement remain unpaid.
That was convener for a group comprising former workers of the Bogoso Prestia mine who have been laid off. Meanwhile, the Deputy CEO of Ghana's Minerals Commission, Emmanuel Kwabena Enyima, who received the petition, has assured the union that it would be tabled before the appropriate authorities.
So I'm receiving this on behalf of our minister, and Deputy Minister, and my CEO, and as you said, the minister knows everything about what is happening at the Bogoso Goldfields. And like you rightfully said, he has been there before when the issue came up, and he made some promises to me. I can assure you that once we have received this petition, we'll table it to the minister, and the minister, who we know is an action man, will take all the necessary action. The government is well committed that you will not lose your job, you get your jobs back. Yes. You will revive the gold mines, and then you get your job back. So I want to assure you that the minister will receive it and will act swiftly on it. That
was Deputy CEO of the Minerals Commission, Emmanuel Kwabena Enyima. Away from that, 6 communities in the Adansi South District have been without power for 2 weeks, crippling healthcare delivery at the Akutreso Health Center. The staff say they fear medical supplies may go bad as they struggle to attend to patients. The outage is blamed on a failed overloaded transformer serving several districts, including Adansi North, Bekwai, and Obuasi. While ECG is working to fix the problem, the Akutreso Assembly member Samuel Edu is pleading with government to find a permanent solution.
The light of it has affected our community members over here, especially those who sell things over here, those who sell fish, and then the storekeepers. All their things has been spoiled. So I'm appealing to the ECG and then the government to come to our need so that that problem will be solved for us.
That was Assembly member for Akutreso electoral area, Samuel Edu. Meanwhile, the district chief executive for Adansi South, Ohiniba Kwabnando, has called for calm as efforts are being made to resolve the problem.
It was yesterday in the morning when one assembly member from that area, that is precisely Sibriso electoral area, called me and reported the matter to me. So I assured him that I will engage the ECG on it. When I get to the office, I called the district engineer. And he told me that there is a problem with one of their poles. And so, as at the time he was speaking to me, they've made an arrangement in Kumasi and they are bringing one of the poles. So surely the problem will be fixed today. But I'm very certain that definitely they are working on it. Yeah, I'm very, very certain that they are working on it.
You heard the district chief executive officer for Adansi South, Ohiniba Kwabena. You are still listening to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're broadcasting live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. In the northern region, the news is on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we're on Tanga 93.7 FM in Boga and Pure 100.5 FM in Navrongo. In the Upper West region, we're on Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Still ahead, we'll look ahead to Parliament today as we expect more drama in the House as the minority members threaten to continue protesting the Pandai seat vacancy declaration. We have details in a bit. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
This Christmas Eve, skip the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Welcome to the Situation All White Party 2025, where the music never stops, the energy never drops, and the fun never ends. Celebrating grand style with great music, irresistible food, and an atmosphere that screams good vibes only. Date 24th December 2025. Venue Good Park near the Accra Mall. Time 8 p.m. till late. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Get ready for electrifying live performances from Kofi Kinata, Perez Music, Inchin Chin Band, and DJ Mingle. Wear your best all-white fit. Bring your dancing shoes and let's light up the night together. Book your tables now. Call 0205-973-973 or 0558-973-973. It's Christmas Eve. Don't miss it. The Situation All White Party 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Bethel Logistics, and Hallmark Cafe, and supported by Oswald Investments Limited.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
one ticket can turn one CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Sika boom. Fidelity Bank say save and win. Muntio. Sika boom. Just deposit and begin. Every 500 CDs you keep for a month, you get 1 point all at once. More deposits gets more points in. More points, more cash you feel win. How many points? 1 point every 500 CDs. What if you win? 5,000 CDs monthly. And the grand prize? Hey, 100,000 Ghana CDs.
Don't wait. Visit any Fidelity branch or agent nationwide to deposit in multiples of 500 CDs. The more you deposit, the better your chances to win 5,000 CDs monthly and 100,000 CDs in the grand draw. Terms and conditions apply. Win with us. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
This
is an NLA approved promo, now running on the Caritas Lottery platform. City Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. This is the City Prime News on 97.3 FM. I am Charles Osukumi. Let's now head to Parliament, where the minority says it will continue to resist Parliament's declaration of the Pandai parliamentary seat as vacant. The minority last night attempted to block parliamentary work following the declaration of the seat as vacant. Deputy Minority Chief Whip Habib Idrisu says the chaos witnessed in the House is a disgrace to Parliament. He, however, says they will continue with their protest today.
It is something that has never happened in the parliamentary democracy, and it is something that is very shameful to the majority side. That you need to pass your motions, you need to pass your budget, that we have security personnel who are in the chamber guiding and safeguarding the speaker before such things have been. As far as the majority and minority we are concerned, there is no single business that has happened today because the parliamentary proceeding, you have been covering parliamentary proceedings. Have you ever seen that they have taken the mace from its original position while parliamentary business is the mace is the symbol of authority to Parliament.
That was the Deputy Minority Chief Whip Habib Idrisu. Ni Ayukwe Okan is our parliamentary correspondent. He is joining us on the telephone to paint a picture of the House for us as we look ahead to today's proceedings. Good afternoon to you, Ayukwe. So yesterday, the minority members came wearing black. Have you seen any of them today? What are they wearing? Paint a picture of the House for us as we prepare for today's proceedings.
Well, so the proceedings for today is expected to begin at 12. However, members of Parliament are yet to come in their numbers, but I've seen a few of them. The first Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu has been around. The Minority Chief Whip Frank Anadompra is also in the chamber currently. They are still clad in black attire. I don't know what the others that will come in would also be wearing, but for now, that is what I have seen on the floor. We've had a few of the NDC MPs also available, about 2 of them in the chamber, expecting that proceedings will begin. As you earlier stated, the minority has made it clear that this resistance would continue today because until the Speaker makes a pronouncement on their demand for the withdrawal of the letter to the EC declaring the Pandai seat vacant, they will not cooperate for any parliamentary business to take place. So the Speaker assured yesterday that he was going to rule on that particular matter. We are expecting that he would be able to do so today so that at least cool heads will prevail. And we know the way forward, whether they are still going to cooperate with the majority in terms of conducting parliamentary business or they would continue with their resistance. So we are expecting that a key thing that will take place today is the Speaker's ruling on this concern raised by the minority caucus. It is also expected that majority side of the House would also bring on board their business activity for today. The budget estimate consideration is still ongoing. Yesterday, despite the chaos, the House continued. The majority side of the House continued with business by ensuring that most of the budget estimates for the ministries were approved. We don't know whether today they would also continue with the business for the minority to still go ahead with their resistance, or the speaker would rule on this matter for cool heads to prevail so that there will be calm in the house, sanity will prevail for business activity for today. Charles.
Well, I mean, the chaos that ensued in the House yesterday, a lot of people have condemned it. In your engagement with the MPs, do you sense any sense of regret? Are they remorseful?
Well, there hasn't been any sense of remorse on the part of lawmakers that I have had an interaction with, particularly from the minority side. They believe that they have a good point, that the seat ought not to be declared vacant yet because the MP in question, Matthew Nyandam, has filed a stay of execution, and it is only appropriate, according to them, for the House to hold on for the court to make a pronouncement on this particular stay of execution before the clerk to Parliament could write to the Electoral Commission to declare the seat vacant. They feel it is premature decision by the clerk of Parliament, hence their resistance. And just as they indicated that they are going to continue with it, indeed, there hasn't been any remorse. But for the majority side, they also believe that this could have been handled in a much better way, not necessarily for them to engage in what happened yesterday. They could have channeled their grievances in a more decent, appropriate manner than what was witnessed yesterday. So,
all right, grateful to you. Keep an eye on proceedings in the House for us. Ni Ayukwe Okai is our parliamentary correspondent. So let's stay with Parliament and the events of yesterday. Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, says the chaos in Parliament stems from a deep-rooted lack of trust in the judiciary, warning that the political tension witnessed are symptoms of a larger institutional crisis. There was heightened tensions in Parliament when minority MPs prevented Majority Leader Mahama Ayarga from responding to demands for the withdrawal of a letter declaring the Kondai parliamentary seat vacant. Now speaking to Citi News, Dr. Rashid Rahman urged the minority to reconsider their approach and represent the interest of Ghanaians in a civil and constructive manner.
The 8th Parliament, the NDC vehemently disagreed with the way the judiciary handled matters that concern Parliament, including the declaration of seats vacant towards the end of the 8th Parliament. Fast forward, we are not even 1 year to this administration. The opposition doesn't trust the judiciary. We want a democracy that is not one-sided. We want a democracy that has a minority that we can rely on to hold the government to account. When the minority is not in the House, I guess the only voice that we have to hold the government to account is lost. So on that count, I would appeal to them to make sure that in the interest of the Ghanaian people that they represent, I think they should, rethink their stand. Go back to the House, make their voices heard in a very civil way, and they should remember that Ghanaians are watching and they are listening.
Voice of Executive Director of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman. Away from Parliament, let's now focus on the police service. The Criminal Investigations Department has intensified its clampdown on unlicensed foreign exchange trading, arresting dozens of suspects and seizing large sums of money in coordinated operations across Accra. More than 90 suspects have been arrested since August 2025, with some already facing prosecution for illegal forex trading. Director General of the CID, COP Lydia Yakudonko, says the swoop conducted with the Bank of Ghana targeted hotspots in Tudu, Circle, and the airport enclave.
Those arrested in this operation also included both Ghanaian and foreign nationals, all detained for unauthorized forex trading. Money seized included Ghana cedis and some foreign currencies. All cash exhibits were secured and forwarded to the Bank of Ghana for safekeeping as investigations continue. In all, a total of 90 suspects have so far been arrested since this operation commenced in August 2025. Out of this number, 13 have been charged and brought before the Accra Circuit Court, while all cash exhibits, as I earlier mentioned, have been secured and forwarded to the Bank of Ghana for safekeeping as investigations continue. We also urge all individuals involved in this illegal trade to desist, since offenders will be arrested and prosecuted. We also advise the general public to deal with the banks for all their forex transactions.
That was Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department of the Police Service, COP Lydia Yako Donko. And finally, before we go, government is set to summon officials of the Israeli embassy in Accra on Wednesday, December 10, after what it calls the inhumane treatment of Ghanaian travelers, including 4 members of parliament at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport. The Foreign Affairs Ministry says 7 Ghanaians were detained on arrival in Tel Aviv on Sunday without cause, while 3 others were deported and have since returned to Ghana. The ministry has also rejected claims that Ghana's embassy failed to cooperate with Israeli authorities during the incident. Well, that'll be all for this edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, here in Accra. For more news, log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
City 97.3 Accra.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1 million destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day and crystal flows in the night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us. So come see, touch, taste and feel South Africa.
South Africa awaits. Come find your joy. Visit southafrica.net.
Sika boom. Fidelity Bank say save and win. Muntio. Sika boom. Just deposit and begin. Sika Beyeto. Every 500 CDs you keep for a month, you get 1 point all at once. More deposits gets more points in. More points, more cash you feel win. How many points? 1 point every 500 CDs. What if you win? 5,000 CDs monthly. And the grand prize? Hey! 100,000 Ghana CDs.
Don't wait. Visit any Fidelity branch or agent nationwide to deposit in multiples of 500 CDs. The more you deposit, the better your chances to win 5,000 CDs monthly and 100,000 CDs in the grand draw. Terms and conditions apply. Win with